Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is episode 11 of our Timberborn playthrough. If you guys are new to this series, definitely check out some of the older videos. Consider subscribing to stay up to date on this series as well as others. Leave a like and a comment. We will go through a quick recap and then we'll get into the video. Alright, episode 11 here. So we are just starting out in Hillview. Hillview is coming along great. We have so much industrial stuff planned. If we come in here and just kind of turn on our blueprint mode so we can take a look. We're getting a printing press going. We've got some more smelters, tons of explosives production, and then a ton of storage going on as well. We're also getting really close to getting this last battery finished. And then we can continue working from there, but that should help us store a pretty fair amount of power, just purely based on the height of these. We can get a couple more engines going. Overall, things going really well in Hillview. In Fall City, things are also going well. We have an absolutely enormous amount of kohlrabi stored. Water storage is pretty good. The cassava is actually fairly good. We have 1.5k stored. So once we get out of this drought and we get these power wheels going, we should be able to get a pretty solid amount of fermented cassava. So, things that we want to do today. So the first thing that I want is I want to pretty much unhinder the population growth in Hillview specifically, because as we start to get these industrial buildings online, we're going to need to have the population to manage it. So we are going to be relying heavily, extremely heavily on Fall City for food and even for water. We do have 6 pumps here, which is not terrible. We can go ahead and speed that up. 6 pumps, not terrible. It's actually the same as Fall City, but I envision focusing the population more on the industry. So if that means that we need to have some of our pumps shut down for a while, then then that's what we're going to have to do. So what are we thinking of doing today? So one thing that I want to do to enable Fall City to continue to support Hillview further, I would like to incorporate some more farmable land in here. So we're going to do that a couple ways, and as soon as I start to kind of do this, I think you're going to kind of get the idea of what I'm doing. I'm just going to run some paths through here so that we can start to clear cut a lot of these trees. So let's come in here and let's just cut down these trees. Cut all those down, which is great. They will come down here and start cutting. And then we're going to need a way to get down here. So let's jump down here. We're going to need to be able to get up here. And this is actually a great thing that the game no longer has essentially district limits. You can pretty much operate as far as you want, just knowing that it's going to be inherently slower the further away you get. But I actually like that a lot because it kind of allows you to do things like this. Kind of cosmetic cleanups that are not all that important in the grand scheme of things, but that will make everything look a lot nicer. So we can just kind of continue to clear some of this stuff out. Alright, and the drought is ended. I am going to open up one more of these builder huts in Fall City, just so that we can keep clearing this stuff. But with the drought ending, let's go ahead and get a couple of our pumps operational in Hillview, and then we'll go into Fall City and get those ones fully functioning, which would be great. Okay, so how are we doing on this battery? I just want to make sure that it is the highest of priorities. It is. In addition to our beaver statue. I love the way that this hillside is coming along. I think it looks really good. And then I also love how this staircase came out. It's really, you know, kind of windy and weird, and with the shrubs, I think it looks really nice. In fact, we could probably get some more shrubs on here. I like that, kind of having like a little wall of shrubs going on. I think that that'll look really nice. Okay, so we'll just continue to clear this stuff out. Let's come in here. Make sure that we get rid of all of these. And then similarly, we'll mark all of these for destruction. Get a little staircase down in here. And get rid of all of these. So let's just continue to run some paths through here to enable them to get to all of these locations. And then we'll come through and delete the paths after. Luckily, paths don't cost anything, so... But there we go. So as they clear these, you're probably thinking, why are we clearing all these paths? Well, there's a simple answer, and it's going to involve flooding this whole area. And we're actually going to get rid of these birches as well. They are just birches. They are not, you know, exceedingly valuable in terms of... lumber, so I'm comfortable getting rid of those. And in fact, we just had a little bit of flood there. But so my plan is, we're going to flood this whole area up to this level. So the level that these campfires are on, the water will come right up here. So this is going to do a couple things. One, it is going to give us a ton of more farmable area around here. Essentially, this whole platform, this whole level will be farmable. We could probably take the top off of this once we get the explosives up and running and get that going. But it's also going to enable us to have a pretty significant water storage, you know, down the line once we can kind of clean this up with some dynamite. For those of you who saw my... playthrough of the Folktales a while back, you guys know that I'm a big dynamite fan, and I think you can do a lot of great things with dynamite. Mostly cosmetic, if we're being completely honest. But okay, metal blocks are going to the beaver statue. Let's not do that. Let's get it into the battery. And then I'm really excited to get these batteries hooked up. So let's take a look at our power real quick. So we have 1,400 power, roughly, between 13 and 14, while the water is flowing and while our engine is operational. So that means that during the wet seasons, and granted, we are not using nearly, you know, we're using roughly half of the industrial buildings that we have planned currently. So we're going to need a ton of power, which means we're going to have engines for days going on up here, which will be good. You know, I'm not at all opposed to having engines for days up here so that we can provide power, but I also want the batteries to play a role. You know what I mean? I want it to be a balanced system where we don't have an excess number of engines. I would like the batteries to be able to compensate, particularly during the drought when we're not getting this huge power draw, because you got to think, the engine produces 400. So that means that this water wheel setup is roughly producing 1,000 horsepower, which is pretty significant. But okay. So now, I think we probably need to run this path a little bit further down here to enable them to get to those. But we can start to clear out some of this. However, before we do, I think we might want to utilize some of these paths to build some levees. So if I just kind of rotate this around, this is the level that we want the water to sit at. So I think if we We do that. That would work. So let's come through here. Actually, let's just run the path along here, and I don't want those stairs, so those can go away. But let's take this path. And let's bring this down to those levees to better enable them to build them. Like that. And then similarly, we're going to need some levees in here. So let's get some levees in there like that. So they can start working on that. And then I intend for the water to flow back out this way. But in order to do that, in order to maintain water level, we are going to need some kind of a dam in here. So if this is the height that we want, let's come through here. Let's delete all of that. We can get to this a different way. Clear that out. And let's just delete these. It's not very many resources. Okay, and interestingly, they're coming out this way to build that. Guess that's okay, but I think I'm going to once they get out of here, I'm going to force them to go this route. So let's get rid of these. And then we can come through here. Get rid of all these paths, and we can actually get rid of those stairs because they are no longer necessary. So they can come down here, build these levees. But now if we come over here, we're going to need a dam in here. And let's go ahead, let's put in... Ooh, I could actually do a suspension bridge, couldn't I? Yeah, what do I want? A 2x? 2x suspension bridge? Question is, where do I want it? Or do I want to clean up this channel with some dynamite? Yeah, so let's just put in a little temporary bridge for now. A bridge to nowhere, apparently. Let's get some stairs down to there. Connect that up. And then we can run this path down here, and I think we come over here. I think this is roughly where I want our dam to be. And this is the level that I want it to overflow. So if we get rid of these top ones and I put on dam pieces, that'll work. And then we could put a platform onto there just so that we could get a path over there. So we can get all that built. It's gonna take them a while. It is a very far journey. But I think they should be able to do it fairly well. So let's see, our population is growing over here in Hillview. We have 10 children currently, which is good. Okay, so the battery is done. So let's go into power. Let's get that in there. Let's make that highest priority so that we can get rid of all this nonsense that we got going on. And then we can clean this up. We can get it ready to hook up the power. Okay, so let's start by, we're going to do this, 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 and this. And the reason for that is that I need to get this level. And I believe if we kind of come down here, yeah, that means I need a single platform to get to that level. So if we put those in there like that, and then I put that double on there. Let me see, actually. I might not be able to put a double on there because I want to use suspension bridges. So let's go 2 by. And that means we're going to want to get rid of this so that we can get a 2 by. Yeah, and we'll want something like that. And I don't think that I can put a platform. Yeah, I can't put one on top of there. That's okay, though. Because let's see, if we put one here... What if I go double single like that, and then I get a beaver statue up there. Yeah, so that would work. Okay, so I can get rid of this scaffolding now. So let's do that just to kind of clear out the path. So let's get that clear. Pick up all of those. I don't know if they're going to be able to build this beaver statue all the way from the ground. Kind of feel like it's going to be too far. But let's just see. Let's prioritize both of those to get built and see if they can get that done. Just because I want this to, I want it to look nice, and we're going to put a power shaft in here. Yeah, so that is too far from builders. So let's we'll have to do. We'll have to do that. In order to get up there. And then we'll back the stairs back down. And I completely forgot to put shrubs in here. No. Alright. Let's, These are not expensive, so let's get rid of those. And then we need to put our shrubs in. What a tremendous waste of resources, if I'm being completely honest. But that's okay. That is okay. So we'll come through here, we'll pick up all this trash on the ground. Ooh, there's actually no log storage. That is interesting. Which actually tells me that this is working exactly as intended. Although our log storage is completely full over here, regardless, so. Do I want to add another log storage in here? Would it make sense to do so? Is it necessary? Just trying to think of how many things use logs in this district. And how I would get up there, for that matter. Straight across, stairs up, over, yeah. Yeah, it's doable. So let's go large pile. Store logs. Run that over there. So this will be a path. And we can get up there like that. And let's put this at moderately high priority. So they'll continue to work over here, but if they are unable to work over here, they will go back over and work on that pile storage. All right, let's get the other shrub in. Gotta have the shrubs, you know? Gotta have the shrubs. Priorities, priorities. Okay. So now that this is cleared out, let's see how they're doing on the dams. Or the levees, rather. They're getting there. Although I am not opposed to beginning the flooding process now. So let's see. If we were to make a clean cut right there, we would want this to be levees. Right? Yeah, I think levees is what we are after. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's get another shrub in here. Highest priority. They're getting there on the metal blocks. Slowly but surely. And then let's see, for power, we're going to want a vertical power shaft there. And a triple split there. So let's get those hooked up, and then we'll run the power across and up. And that will look really good. Okay. So let's see. How are we doing on the metal blocks? Yeah, we're still 19 short. And these have, the scrap metal is available. And this does have a worker. Oh yeah, okay, so there they go. Not getting enough power though. Interesting. Alright, so let's make this engine the next highest priority. After this guy. Let's see, we're gonna want to get these in here. So this is gonna now be a levee. Like that highest priority. Keep working on it, keep working on it. Because they'll only ever come over here when there are metal blocks available, and if there aren't any, then not there. This is gonna be a vertical power shaft. And then power shafts over here. Gonna look something like that. We'll put those moderately high priority. Okay. It's interesting, in this district we only have eight builders. This isn't a huge building district. Let's go back over to Fall City and see how they're doing on these dams. Okay, yeah, so they are almost done sealing this off, so we are almost ready to flood it. Which, this is going to take a huge amount of time to actually get this area flooded. It's probably going to take multiple wet seasons to fill this up, but that is okay. Because inevitably, we are going to have so much water that it's going to be fine. Okay, let's hook those up so that at least these batteries are functional. And then once these batteries are functional, it'll be interesting to see... Yeah, because we are just not producing enough power right now, so these are going to get drained right off the bat. Yep, so they are... And I'm curious, is this 32,000 horsepower per battery? I kind of think it is. Just because this is only 4 and this is 5, and they're both telling me 32,000. So I imagine it's not the group, I imagine it's the single battery. Anyway, alright, so we picked up some more of the resources that were strewn about, so let's get that in there. Oh, and we built the first suspension bridge. Only logs and planks. That's, I didn't realize that it was only logs and planks. Let's see. Let's see if we can kind of square off a couple of these. So if I go up to there like that, then square that off. I square this one off. Yeah, I could get something in there. Square that off. And then if we come in here, we can get some strategically placed shrubs. Unfortunately, I don't think I can get a shrub in there. Unless I build some platforms here that will allow me then to place shrubs from above. And then we can come back out and delete those. But anyway, let's bring this path over here. Delete those out. And just hook it up there. Okay, so how are we doing? Ooh, only 2 more metal blocks, and then we are cooking. We are doing real good. Okay, so let's get a levee in here. Let's make that highest priority so that they can continue to work on diverting this water. And you can actually already see a little bit of water starting to make its way in, just by nature of further constricting this this area. They are almost there with this dam over here, and then this one is complete. That is great to see. Okay, so now, that was a quick turn. Just so that we don't kind of, you know, constrict ourselves too much with what we're trying to do here. Let's back this path out. I don't want it to overly affect our planning process. I do kind of want to replace these barriers with an actual dam. Completely unnecessary. The barriers will work just fine, but I just think that they look nicer. What are these, resources? Yeah, there we go. So let's get those ripped out so that we can do something a little bit more interesting in here. And then let's go ahead and get rid of these trees as well. Okay, so now let's get a dam in here just as soon as they pick these up. And man, it's telling me that that's too far from a district. What about this stuff? So if I just delete those altogether, if I put a dam piece in here, yep, too far. Okay, so let's, we're gonna have to hook up a path, unfortunately. So let's get those cleared out, and then let's run a path down here onto there. And then does it make sense for this little island here to be owned by Hillview or to be owned by Fall City? I feel like it makes more sense for it to be owned by Fall City, or maybe even a new district out here, because this is actually a pretty substantial distance away. So, you know, possible that we put in a, you know, some kind of exchange over here. This path might actually stay. Unsure. It only eliminated what, 1, 2, 3, 4 kohlrabi. Not a huge deal, all things considered. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So let's get one of those in there. And then I actually think that they can build that vertically. So let's get that one hooked up as well. And then we can go ahead and get rid of that stairs. I just want to make sure that they can build those before I get rid of the stairs. You know, we try not to be wasteful here. Okay, let's start getting our explosives factories built. Let's come in here. I'm going to put those on moderately high priority. And let's put the other engine now on highest priority, along with these two. Actually, let's rework our priorities real quick. So let's put engine on moderately high with the explosives factories. Doesn't matter, they already built it. Prioritize it by haulers so that we can get some power going. And then we really just need these to get hooked up so that we are good to go. But okay, so we are now making just barely enough power, which is kind of where I want to be. I don't want to have too many engines if they're not going to be, you know, useful. That is what we have spent all this time building the battery bank for. And I really just need some builders to come up here and finish these off so that we can move on. And it's funny because they came up here for a second to work on it. Let's see where they're at. Where are they going? They're going down there. Okay, cool. So now this is all hooked up now, right? I believe so. So now we can get rid of these stairs. Put that on high priority to pick up. And then if we connect that, and we can probably get a shrub in there. And then if we go into well-being, maybe a shrine right there. Shrine for the beavers. Okay, so now for all of your knowledge, I am going to be building a new district up here. It's going to be located right here, right on this this point. Let's come through here. Let's make sure we pause our water pumps. We don't want to get carried away and completely drain out our water supply. Okay, so now this whole thing is now sealed, and the only outlet will be right here, which is exactly what we want. So once they get this this last levee in, during the next wet season, all of the water should flow right into here and start to fill this up. And that is going to be great for several reasons. Primarily, it's going to give us just a monster amount of farmable land. Which is really exciting. And let's see now, power. So I believe, yes, so our batteries are functional, and they are keeping peak amount of power coming through here that is needed. So each building is getting exactly the amount of power that they require. Which is great. I'm really excited to have these batteries up and running. Now the only thing is that during the dry season, with the Iron Teeth, unlike the Folktales, because we are getting our non-water wheel power from engines, and this is actually just making me a liar right now. I was about to say that they wouldn't generate power at night, but they're just going to continue to run until they run out of logs. Even overnight, and they're going to charge the batteries back up. Wow, that is awesome. And that's great. Because it means that we're pretty much replenishing our batteries every night. Not quite fully. But fairly close. I mean, we got to 31,700 out of 3,200, so pretty good. All right, let's take a look at our populations here. So only 7 vacancies now in Hillview. That is good. Water. Okay. Well, with that being the case, pause a couple of those, go back into like a maintenance level of population. Over here, though, we're doing pretty good. Our water is less than stellar, though. Interesting. We still have a ton of vacancies over here. All right, I'm going to pause one of the builder's huts just because they're not needed. That'll give us more haulers. As we've learned, haulers are the key to pretty much everything. Especially when it comes to water. So, alright, so our explosives factories are nearly up and running. Let's just make sure that those are the highest priority so we can start to get some explosives going. And then it's kind of, I need to see this filled up to make sure that all of this, to basically see what will be plantable. Before we can really start to make like an educated determination as far as what we will be able to plant up here. But for now, I am going to preempt this. I'm going to get a storage facility in here for explosives. So let's do that. They can get that built. And that's just so that, because we're going to need explosives over here inevitably. Ooh, I completely forgot that I got rid of this. So let's go in here and let's get some levees in there. Because otherwise that would just drain our whole storage, all of our water. And that wouldn't be good at all. Something tells me we are not going to see this thing fill up anywhere near full capacity until the next episode. But that's okay. Let's also get the other metal blocks facility up and running. Just because the thing that is holding these up, these explosives factories, is metal blocks. So I figure probably not a bad idea to get another facility up and running. Make metal blocks. And we should have the resources. Planks, we're good on planks. Gears, we're good. And then scrap metal, yeah, we're totally fine. This scrap metal is full for all intents and purposes. And so is this one. So I kind of think we can go down to just 2 scrap metal harvesters, scavengers over here. Now, unfortunately, this scrap metal pile is almost completely done for. We might make our way up here to get some more. I'm not sure. However, one thing that I do want to do, so as the water comes back down into here, you got to think, so we're at this level. This tier right here is where the water is going to be stored. And I would love to be able to store a bit of water in here. So let's get a couple of these. Let's get some dams. Nope. That's not where I wanted that, so let's get rid of that. I want that over here. So it's going to be at this level is where I want it. So with that being the case, let's pause both of these. Because I'm going to need to... Probably going to be in the middle of the night is when I'm going to sever this connection. So that no beavers run out there, because we're going to have to rework this staircase system over here. As well as we're going to need levees. Running over here to protect this farmland. Okay, so let's just confirm no beavers are over here. Let's go ahead. Let's get rid of these stairs. And I'm actually going to fill that in with levees. So that they can build that. And then I think we're going to use... Excuse me, I think we're going to use our first piece of dynamite right here. So that we can get some stairs down and make a nice connection into there. So let's see, how far are we? Ooh, we're actually really close to getting explosives. We might be able to get our first piece of dynamite. Oh, and that's actually not going to operate until this one gets built. Because that's where its power connection is. That's okay. I could go through the, I could put like a triple here and bring it down with a... It's not necessary. Okay, cool. So we now have dynamite. So let's get our first set of cosmetically placed, completely ineffective dynamite. And I don't even know. Yes, we do have one dynamite. That is awesome. Okay, so let's look at storage here. I'm going to go down a few levels. Okay, so this facility up top is storing books. These two have nothing stored, and then these two are for explosives. Do I want more than two? Do I want more than two storing explosives? I'm not sure, but what I do think is that I want more than two storing paper. Because honestly, so let's say this takes 3 hours to make one explosive from 3 paper. This takes 1.5 hours to make 2 paper. So one of these can essentially support 2 explosives factories. Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. All right, first explosive. Perfect. We can get some stairs down there. Okay, and then now we need to rework essentially all of this. Let's get rid of that. I'm just gonna trash all of this because it's not needed. But this is essentially going to be the level that we are going to store, or that we're going to, yes, store our water. So if we come over here, we're still above water. And then I think I'm going to run the dam, or the levee, like right here. So let's get rid of that. We can put a couple singles in there. And then bring us up to this height. And then if we go into our levees again. So we'll have levees over here, and then we could probably... That's got 3 coming in, so we could probably get away with 3. Might as well just do 4. Alright, so the drought is ended. So let's come over here. Let's get our water pumpers going. Man, this district actually, they almost didn't make it with regard to water. So I'm going to get all of those operational. And then over here, yeah, water, huge issue. Okay, so we do not need all of these paper mills operating. Probably only need 1, if we're being honest. Gears, probably don't need all of those. Really just trying to shed some weight in terms of what we've got operating. Trying to get more haulers to help the water. This is a huge building project now going on over here. But let's see, has the water started to flow yet? Yeah, so it's just now starting to make its way over. And this district, we need to do better with our water production, and I'm not quite sure what the best way to go about that is. Okay, and this is awesome. We're getting water flowing in to our central area. And just look at the space turn green. This is going to take a while to fill up, though, for sure. Yeah, this is going to be great, though. This is going to provide so much valuable land. Let's see how we're doing. Yeah, we're doing totally fine on power. We are starting to make some explosives, which is nice. We can go ahead and remember to get rid of these, so that we can put in more shrubs. Our suspension bridge is done. Our battery system is done. Man, we got a lot of stuff done in this episode, guys. I think it's going to bring us to the end. If you made it this far and you enjoyed it, definitely consider leaving a like and a comment. Let me know how I'm doing. Consider subscribing to the channel to stay up to date on all these videos. And if you are willing and able and would like to support the channel further, consider checking out the Patreon. You can find it linked in the description below. Till the next episode, I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks. Bye.